Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station, but to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there, literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station. New Orleans Square.
Now arriving New Orleans Square Station. Please everyone stay seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop all the way inside the station. This is your destination for Pirates of the Caribbean, the Haunted Mansion, a Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and the closest stop to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Once again, this is New Orleans Square. Have fun in the bayou. You just joined us. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. This train is now ready to take off, and we're headed to Mickey's Toontown Depot. For a safe journey, please remain seated. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and supervise small children, seating them away from the center of the train cars and the large train openings. Our next stop, Mickey's Toontown Depot, your gateway to Fantasyland.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering Splash Mountain, rumored to be the location of the one and only Laugh-In Place. If you look real hard, you just might find it. It's where the critters are celebrating a zippity-doo-dah day. Fun-filled adventures.
Yeah, they're gonna need to update that one. Need to update that narrative.
As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. Sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these trails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Well, folks, we are steaming our way toward Mickey's Toontown Depot, where you can ride Gadget's Go Coaster or Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, or get some soft-serve ice cream from Clarabelle's. Toontown is also your destination for all attractions in Fantasyland, like the newly renovated Matterhorn bobsleds, It's a Small World, Peter Pan's Flight, Snow White's Enchanted Wish, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, and so much more.
This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of ear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, a cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal belongings, then step carefully from the train.
Now arriving Mickey's Toontown Depot, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop all the way inside the station. This is Mickey's Toontown Depot, your gateway to Fantasyland.
Hello everyone! Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. Forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astro blasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Now arriving Tomorrowland Station, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. Tomorrowland is your destination for Space Mountain, Star Tours, Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, the Astro Orbiter, the Disney, Autopia, and so much more. Once again, please do not stand up until we are completely stopped. This is Tomorrowland. Have fun in the future. Thank you for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. This train is ready to depart Tomorrowland, and we're headed for Main Street, USA. For a safe trip, as always, please remain seated, hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and supervise small children, seating them away from the center of the benches in the large train openings. At this time, all little ones must be seated on the back pockets on a bench or on the lap of an adult. All children must be seated. Thank you. On our way to Main Street, we're going to take a little detour through the rim of the Grand Canyon and the primeval world. While we invite you to take as many photos or videos as you like, we ask that you kindly turn off your flash or any external video lighting as we pass through the dioramas ahead. Next stop, Main Street, USA.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop.
Now arriving Main Street, USA. Please everyone stay seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. As a reminder, Main Street is not equipped with any ramps. We only have stairs here. So if you're traveling with a wheelchair or a stroller, go ahead and keep it folded until you reach the bottom of the stairs. This is Main Street, USA.
Just a few minutes.